Particularly, they are double-stranded DNA virus with icosahedral symmetry, and as they are the DNA virus, they will be replicating in the nucleus. Okay, if a virus is replicating in the nucleus, then what will be happening? The inclusion body or the intranuclear inclusion or the inclusion body can be seen in the nucleus as the virus is replicating in the nuclei or the nucleus. So the intranuclear inclusion bodies can also be seen in the intranuclear or in the nucleus. These particularly viruses, they are stable in the environment, and 4 genera are there. First is the AV adenovirus, master adenovirus, ATA adenovirus, cytomegalovirus. So particularly the important viruses belong to the AV adenoviruses. They are the avian adenovirus, particularly the viruses which will be affecting the birds. And in this, EDS76, a very known virus. Then master adenovirus means the virus particularly affecting the mammalians. ATA adenovirus, they are the virus of vertebrate. Adenovirus, amphibian virus, and avian virus. So all these viruses, particularly in the Mustardian virus, particularly you will be seeing the virus which will be affecting the dogs, and so they are responsible for causing systemic and respiratory disease in case of dogs. So in general, adenovirus, they are responsible for causing systemic and respiratory diseases in case of dogs and systemic diseases in case of poultry. Why we are saying it is adeno? Because adeno is from the Greek word gland, or particularly, just the slide is not moving, just I will WhatsApp. Yes. Now this adenovirus particularly, they are derived from the Greek word. Greek word means gland. That's why we are saying it is a adeno. And they were first time isolated from the explant culture of human adenoids. So that's why we are saying that they have been derived from the glands. So when the tissue culture or the explant culture of the human beings was performed, or the cell culture was used, then at that time in the cell culture, particularly of the adenoid glands, this virus was detected. That's why we are saying it is a adenovirus. Icosahedral symmetry with 70 to 90 nanometer in diameter and contains a single linear molecule of double-stranded DNA. And particularly, the fibers are being projected. The fibers are being projected from either of the 12 vertices of the having projections or spikes present on it. Agglutination, the important characteristics of the adenovirus is that they used to agglutinate rat or monkey erythrocytes, okay? And it is dependent on the fiber protein which possesses type-specific immunodeterminants. That's why these viruses may be responsible for agglutination of erythrocytes, and they are agglutinating the erythrocytes of rats and monkey. And when we are saying that they are agglutinating the erythrocytes, means they are agglutinating the erythrocytes at room temperature or 37 degree centigrade. So just we have seen the adenovirus. In the master adenovirus, bovine adenovirus, canine adenovirus, equine adenovirus, ovine adenovirus, and porcine adenovirus is there. While from the AV adenovirus, fowl adenovirus, goose adenovirus, atadeno is the bovine adenovirus D, ovine atadenovirus D, duck adenovirus, and the Side adenovirus, they are particularly turkey adenovirus A, and with the frog, we are not much more interested. So we will be talking about the canine adenovirus. Here you can see which are the responsible, we can say adenovirus of veterinary importance. So here I am not going in much more details. We will be talking directly about the canine adenovirus. And equine adenovirus is there, bovine adenovirus is there, ovine adenovirus, porcine adenovirus, fowl adenovirus, duck adenovirus, turkey adenovirus. So all these adenoviruses are there particularly. And whenever the adenovirus is there, they are ingested and they will be replicating in the local tonsils or the Pierre patches, leading to the viremia in the particular individual. They will be responsible for two types of infection. One may be once the viremia is there or when the virus is entering into the body. And the second condition is there when the antibodies are being produced after the virus infection. So once the virus is going inside the body or the penetrating the particular host, particularly once they are reaching, so the cytopathic effect of the virus depends on the replication site. If they are replicating in the hepatocytes, they will be leading to the acute hepatitis and intranuclear inclusion bodies. When renal tubule cells are being infected or the virus is replicating in the renal tubules, they will be leading to the nephritis and the virus is shed in the urine. While the vascular endothelial cells, there will be the hemorrhages and particularly disseminated intravascular coagulation in the particularly endothelial cells or the vascular and intranuclear inclusions may be noticed. Being inside the body, there is, or whenever the antigen is inside the body, there is always the antibody production is there. So once the virus is inside the circulation, so there is formation of immune complex formation. When the immune complex is circulating, so deposition in the renal glomeruli. So there will be the glomerulonephritis. When the local immune complex formation is there and they are being placed at one place particularly, there will be the corneal edema and opacity of the anterior uveitis, or we can say anterior uveitis. So there will be the particularly opacity in the anterior uveitis. So corneal edema and opacity can be noticed. So these reactions we have seen in the hypersensitivity also. So the complex can be of two types. One may be the localized and one may be the circulating complex. So these are the particularly canine adenovirus one, how it will be replicating or into the particularly canines. Now the important disease of canines is infectious canine hepatitis. It is always there that I have previously also I have told that with the particular species, there may be the one disease. So when we are talking about the canines or the dogs, the important disease of the dogs particularly is the infectious canine hepatitis. Another important disease of the dogs will be parvovirus. These are from the DNA virus. Now from the RNA virus, rabies. Rabies is a well-known disease, and one more is particularly that is which one it is? It is due to the parvovirus. So these are the important disease of dogs. So one of the diseases you will be getting definitely from the dogs also. So the infectious canine hepatitis particularly, the disease is worldwide or it is prevalent worldwide, and particularly it is caused by canine adenovirus 1, and it is principally affecting the liver and the vasculoendothelial system. Previously, the disease was much more prevalent or widespread, but once the vaccine is being known or being used, the outbreak of the disease is being limited. Although the disease is prevalent in case of dogs, but it may affect the wild, particularly foxes, wolves, pythons, skunks, bears, they are also susceptible for the infections. So the transmission of the disease is generally through the urine, feces or saliva from infected animal, and the immune response usually eliminates virus. So the immune response usually eliminates virus from the host tissue by 14 days after initial infection. So Once the infection is there, the virus will be expelled out of the body within 14 days. But it is also always not that if the immune system is not sufficient enough to expel the virus, so the virus will be persisting and it will be leading to the different disease condition. And the virus, if the virus is persisting in the, particularly if the virus is persisting in the kidney and in some maybe access for more than 6 months. So the virus can persist in the kidney for the 6 months. So if the virus is in the dog kidney for 6 months, so the virus will be excreted from the urine continuously from the 6 months. So the other dogs may also be getting infection from it. Now talking about the Agron syndrome 76, EDS 76. This is again the important disease of the poultry, and it is a viral disease of poultry characterized by a drop in egg production, and there is thin shell or shellless egg or misshaped egg. So it is very characteristic. If you are seeing the eggs, which are here you can see thin shelled eggs. When the shell of the eggs are thin, the eggs will be deformed, or sometimes the eggs may be shellless, or they may be the misshapen. But the chicken will still appear healthy. So the chicken will be appearing healthy, but the eggs, you can see the eggs, they are not being particularly good in condition. So the family, again, I have already told, they are from the particularly, we can say, the adenovirus, and this egg drop syndrome is being caused by the EDS. It is responsible for causing egg drop syndrome. Why we are saying it is egg drop syndrome 76? Because the first time in the year 1976, so first time the virus was being noticed in the year 1976, so the name was given EDS 76. So this adenovirus, they used to replicate in the nucleus, and the entry of adenovirus particle is in the cells with the help of cell polymers. So I'm not going in much more detail because in general this is being ready. So the progeny virus are released in the nucleus caused by disintegration. So this is the steps in the replication of the virus, how the virus is being endocytosed and with the help of the fibers, and these fibers, they are being introduced into the particularly nucleus, and inside the nucleus replication of the virus, then the transition will be there, and so the early thing will be formed, and the thickness protein will be forming, and then will be leading to the formation of the virus, whole virus. Disease was first discovered in the 1996, so named EDS7. This is not a disease which is being of zoonotic importance, or it is not being why also. So the antiprotein, the virus agglutinates the chicken. Chicken erythrocyte. So hemagglutinin property is being noticed. So the as the EDS of poultry origin, it will be agglutinating the chicken RBC, while and we have seen in general it will be agglutinating the red, or it will be particularly affecting the cans. So serotype and the strains, there are three genotypes. One is associated with the classical EDS 76, one with the classical EDS 76, other one is with the duck in, and other one is the EDS only in different place, different country, or the continent, not the country, different continent, that is Australia. So one is in the UK and one is in the Australia. And the transmission is by both route, by vertical as horizontal as well as the vertical. But the main spread is by the vertical through the embryonated eggs, and other transmitted through the horizontal, through the contaminations or the fomites, direct contact, indirectly by the drinking water contaminated with the droplets. So pathogenesis in general, virus will be replicating in the nasal mucosa, viremia will be there. Virus is spread throughout the body, especially spleen, thymus, and pouch shell glands, and it will be affecting the oviducts, and the eggs are affected. So there will be the thin shell, disformed eggs or misshaped eggs. Clinical signs, particularly, only the shell strength. You will be able to see the first signs are loss of shell strength and the pigmentations. So the soft shell or the shellless eggs. Diarrhea may be due to excess of oviduct secretion in the dropping. Okay, so classical EDS is manifested by sudden fall in egg production around peak production. So when the birds are in peak production, there will be the sudden drop in egg production. So inactive ovaries and atrophied oviducts are often the only recognized lesions, and these are not consistently present. So it is difficult to diagnose macroscopically when we are performing the postmortem examination. So diagnosis, we have to perform the laboratory diagnosis. So in case of laboratory diagnosis, what we'll be doing? From the live animal, you can collect the abnormal eggs, while from the dead animal or the dead poultry, particularly pouch shell gland, you can collect. So the detection of the viral is by ELISA, virus by ELISA, immunofluorescent test, and the PCR. So the nucleic acid method is by the PCR. So the detection of the viral antigen can be performed with the help of ELISA and immunofluorescent test, while the nucleic acid or the molecular method, they are the PCR, which can be used for the detection of EDS76. Of the virus can be performed in the embryonated duct cell lines such as the duct and fibroblast cell line. Okay, duct, fibroblast cell line. Serological test, that is the HI test, ELISA, serum neutralization test, double immunodiffusion test, and so we have to differentiate with the important disease. Now the much more important disease than the ILT are the Newcastle disease. Newcastle disease very much or comparable with the avian influenza. You know the avian influenza, it is responsible for pandemic also, or it will be of zoonotic importance. And this Newcastle disease, although it is not causing much more havoc in human beings, but it is responsible for causing eye infection, that is conjunctivitis. So the conjunctivitis can be noticed when anyone is working the Newcastle disease virus. One of my students was working with the Newcastle disease virus, and continuously she was getting infection or the conjunctivitis. So this is again the important disease other than the ILT. So the avian influenza, Newcastle disease, and infectious bronchitis also. So we have to differentiate ILT with that. So for the control of particularly poultry diseases, vaccination is much more important. So inactivated vaccines with oil adjuvant are available. So they reduced but do not prevent virus shedding. And these vaccines are given during the growing phase, usually at 14 to 18 weeks old. So the prevention, you have to always follow the biosecurity measures. When you do a poultry farm, you have to maintain the biosecurity, and you have to control by washing and particularly disinfecting the things which are being used, and particularly contaminated water should be chlorinated before each and every use. So this was with the this was with the adenovirus. Now